Hello, my awesome 5th grade artist. Today we're going to be starting a new lesson. We're going to be making these radial paper relief sculptures. So that's a lot of words, but I'm going to explain it all to you. We're going to be making these super cool pictures out of folded paper, and I'm going to teach you how to do it all. It's not as hard as it looks, and you're going to really enjoy it. So to begin with, let's talk about what a relief sculpture is. A relief sculpture is when you have a background. So in this case, our background would be this square piece of black paper. And then you have items that are on top of it that come off of it. So it makes it appear somewhat three-dimensional. So all of these pieces of paper are kind of sticking up. They're not flat. And so that gives it what we call the relief in that. So also we're going to be talking about symmetry. So I wanted to show you a few handouts, and your teacher has these, and talk to you about what symmetry is. So first of all, symmetry is a type of balance when an image or object maintains weight when divided by a line of symmetry, which really just means that we're using a butterfly here as an example. If you draw a line straight down the middle of the butterfly, it's the same on both sides. So you can fold it in half and it will be the same on both sides. They're a reflection of one another. That's linear symmetry. Here are a few more examples of linear symmetry. So you see how they have drawn a line in the middle of each of these objects and they are the same on both sides. There's also something called radial symmetry, and that's often found in nature. And that's when you have a central axis or point, so you can see where the center of each of these would be, and everything is the same that goes around that point. So if this is the center of this flower, the things on opposite sides are the same. So just like this snowflake, you see how this is your center point, that these things are across from each other, these parts of the snowflake, they are symmetrical, they are the same. Just the same thing here in this flower. So you see you have your center point, and these petals are across from each other, they are the same. Often they are in somewhat of a circular shape. So that's what radial symmetry is, and that's what we're going to be creating with our paper designs. And with this, the possibilities are endless. So everybody's is going to look different. This is a handout that I provided for the teachers just to show you some examples that some students I found online from Art with Miss Nguyen's class have done. And you see how they're all different. And you can use all different beautiful bright colors. Okay, so to begin with, everybody is going to start with a piece of square black paper. It's already been cut for you, and it has to be a square. So we're going to start by doing some folds, okay? So you're going to follow along with me. So first of all, put your name label on the back, so you'll have that. And then we're just going to fold it up in half. It is very important that you try to get your corners and edges lined up, so take your time. It won't turn out right if you sloppily fold this. So we press it down really hard, and I even like to take my fingernails and make a good crease. You want really good creases because you're going to be able to see these lines later. Okay, you open it back up, and you should have a line that runs horizontal. That means across. Okay, now we're going to turn it. So now the line is running vertical up and down, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it in half again. Make sure your edges and your corners line up. Take your time. Make a really good crease. A crease is where it folds. I use my fingernail. Or you can just press really hard if you don't have a lot of fingernail. And then when we open it up, we have got a cross right in the middle. It's two lines that intersect, that cross each other. Now we're going to turn our square to look like a diamond. So everybody turn yours to look like a diamond. And we're going to fold it in half this way. So we're going to make a triangle. Line your corners up, line your edges up really good. Take your time, pick it up if you have to, and look at it very closely. Teachers, just be walking around and make sure that students are folding theirs the correct way. You can pause the video as you go. Open it up. So now you've got a line that runs across your diamond. Turn it. So it's still a diamond, but we don't have a line that goes across. We're going to make one by folding it. So again, get all of your edges lined up really good in your corners. And crease it. Okay, when you open it up and you turn it back like a square again, if yours is right, it will have, we're going to start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triangles that you can see. That's how you know yours will be right. This is going to be our background. Now we're going to learn how to make the folds of the individual paper that we're going to use to create our relief sculpture. Okay, so now remember, radial symmetry, things rotate around a central axis or a central point. So all of your lines should come together in the center to make a point, and we're going to be using that to make shapes that go all the way around, okay? Before the students start putting all these together, we're going to practice some folds. So we've got this paper that has been pre-cut into 3 by 3 inch squares, and that's what we're going to use, and we're going to do some of these together. Okay, so everybody get a piece of this. It doesn't matter what color, and we are going to start. So first of all, we're going to learn the folds. This one is called the hat fold, and teachers, you have some examples of, oh, sorry, I hit the camera. You've got some handouts that you can pass around also for the students to put on their tables, but I'm going to show you how to do it right now. All right, so have your little piece of paper like a square. You're going to fold it up and in half. This is the same way. You've got to make your edges line up really good and put a good crease in it. Edges and corners need to line up really good. All right, now we're going to turn it so the folded edge is on top and the open edges on the bottom. Does everybody see that? Folded on top, open on bottom. Now you're going to take the top corner and fold it over and down until it lines up at the bottom. Try to be making everything line up really good. So it should look like that. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now it's going to look like a triangle, and it should look like a perfect triangle if you have done this correctly. Teachers, you may have to go around if some of the students don't understand just by the video and show them how to do this. That is one of your folds. It's very simple. Okay, so we're going to do another one. So let's do the same thing again, because everything that is across from each other has to be the same. So if we use that, we'll have to have another one that's the same color and everything. So we're going to fold it in half. This is our hat fold. I'm going to do 2 of each fold so you can get practice. The folded edges on the top, the open edges on the bottom. I'm going to fold it over in half. I'm going to have to kind of work with this one. It's not one to go. Okay. And then the same thing. Okay. Okay, now we have 2 of those. Okay. Now we're going to do the kite fold. So this time I'm going to get a different color. I'm going to use orange this time. Okay, so start with your whatever color you want. You have a square. You're going to fold it in half diagonally. So go over to the left side diagonally, and you're making a triangle. Okay. Open it up. Turn it like it's a diamond. You should have your crease in the middle that goes up and down. That's very important. Now you're going to fold on the right side. You're going to pick it up and fold it over to that line in the middle. This is going to look like a kite. So that's why it's called the kite fold. And then you're going to do the same thing over here. You need to make sure it comes to a point at the end, just like a kite. See how that looks like a kite? Okay, that's really simple. So I'm going to put that one up here, and we're going to do another one. Same thing. Fold it diagonal. Use the same piece of color for this, because these would be across from each other. Open it up. Fold the right side over to your crease in the middle, and then fold your left side over to the crease in the middle. Okay. And now we've got 2 kite folds. All right, there's one more fold. I'm going to use a different piece of color this time. This is a different color this time. This is going to be green. We're going to do a samurai fold. So this is the most difficult, but you can do this. So to begin with, have your paper where it's square. Fold it in half diagonally, just like we did a minute ago. Line your edges and corners up. Crease it. Open it up. Now you're going to do the same thing on the other side diagonally. Okay, so when you open it up, you should have a cross in the middle, an X. And then this time we're going to fold the paper in half down. Okay, so now you have it where you have your folded side on top, your open side on the bottom, and you should see a little triangle. Now this is the most difficult part. Teachers may have to go around and show this part. You're going to kind of open it up on the side and push down on that top crease until it goes inside. Same thing here. I open it up, see it's open. I push down and it goes inside and it makes a triangle like this. Then you'll have 2 layers. You're going to take just the top layer and fold it down. And then you're going to fold this side down. The handout that your teachers has shows you some examples, so you can look at those examples. That is our samurai fold. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to start with a square, fold it in half diagonally, get my edges lined up. Really take your time and try to do that really well so these will look nice and neat when you're done. Open it up, fold it in half diagonally the other direction. Open it up, fold it down in half. Folded sides on the top, open sides on the bottom. I'm going to push down on the right side and push it inside. Open it up and push down again, and I have a triangle. Then I'm just going to fold the top layer down, and it makes a point at the top. Okay, I have 2 samurai folds. Now you can start, now that you have 2 of each fold, you can kind of start thinking about what you want your design to look like. So I have one where I've made a bunch of folds, and I'm just going to push this out of the way and show you kind of what I was doing. You see that I've made a bunch of folds of paper. So I'm starting with my background, and you're going to work with each of these triangles that you have. Let me get a bottle of glue really quick. You're going to use Elmer's glue for this. That will hold better than anything else. And so you're going to kind of start thinking about it. Before you start gluing, I think I'm going to use some of my blue kite folds to fit in here, and they will fit just perfect in these triangles that you've made. So remember, whatever is across from it, it has to be the same. So if I have that one here, across from that is this, and I'm just placing them before I glue them and kind of get an idea. Now I think I want to do the same thing on this side. So I would put one here and then one here. Okay, so that's radial symmetry. And now I'm going to go ahead and start gluing some of those down. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back, flat side, and glue it on there. Press really good. The little tops should stick up. You don't want them to be flat, because remember, we're making a radial relief. Okay, it fits right in there. Make sure the points come to the point in the middle. Take your time and put some thought into what your design's going to look like. And you can kind of put it together before you glue it down so you get an idea of what it's going to look like. You can just be so creative with this. do all kinds of things. You can layer shapes on top of shapes. Okay, so there we have that kind of started. You may have to sometimes put something heavy on it so it holds it down. And then I think in these places, I may put these. See how I'm going to use that and kind of go over some of my paper that I've already glued down. And you can do that. You can layer them and it will look even more interesting. So I'm going to glue that. You're working on that, as that point is your central axis, and everything has to be symmetrical as it goes around that. Okay, and then I may do this on this side. See, now if I put that there, then I would have to put the same thing here. Right, this is the last one that I'm going to do, but I would keep going. You just keep filling that up. You just have to kind of work with it. You just keep filling it up until you get it how you like it. You may have to spend more than one class period working and letting glue dry. Teachers finding things for them to sit on, and you can always go back in, and I could add some more of these. I'm not gluing this yet, but I'm just going to show you like what you can do. Actually, I would go inside there. Oops. And see how I'm just building on my design. And that's getting really neat. So I cannot wait to see what you're going to come up with this. Like I said in the beginning, the possibilities are endless. Everybody should look different and unique. And I will see you next time. Bye.